Hello everyone, hope you're very well today and you will receive your subscription box for the ones that are subscribers. Otherwise, other visitors that comes to see, welcome to everyone for the presentation of the teas included in the two options of the Tea Road subscription box. So I'm Daniel, I'm from the teahouse, and it's a pleasure to welcome you in my home. Today is like that. I had no choice to make the video from here, and let's adapt ourselves to just present you the teas. So first we'll do the 4 teas that were included in the little Tea Road box, and then we'll just follow with the 3 other ones that complete the regular version of the big Tea Road. Okay, so to start with, we have Tamari Kucha, which is a kind of green tea that is less common than sencha, and it's unfortunate because it's a really good tea. It's a tea you really like. Some people really like it, like buy lots of it. It's fair price and it's organic and it's a really good quality. It comes from Kagoshima in southern Japan. Yukata Midori is a cultivar that is really early, and that place, Kagoshima, is really warm. It's low altitude and it's on volcanic soils, and the tea is arriving to us really early, so it's an early crop. What distinguishes Tamari Kucha from sencha? It's the same kind of leaf, the same grade of picking. It's only the shape of the leaf. So you'll see Tamari Kucha is a bit curly. So it's not shaped like a pine needle. So it's in Japan, you have different machines that transform the leaf, and so 3 kinds of rolling. And the Tamari Kucha didn't add the last third rolling, which is the shaping machine that makes the pine needle. So it's a bit curly, and because of that, it's not considered to be a sencha. For us, the way we choose the Tamari Kucha to just make it distinguishing from sencha, in our selection anyway, is we choose one that was roasted by the factory, a bit roasted in the finish by a gas stove that just turns the leaf a certain way, that just kind of bakes them slightly and brings that kind of sweet feeling to it. That reminds us of peanut butter at one point, or nut butter anyway, a bit popcorn-ish, and you have definitely a fruity, herbaceous note that is really full, really tasty, really balanced as well. So Tamari Kucha, for the ones that didn't know this tea, is often under the radar versus the sencha that is most common, but it's one that we just wanted to share with you because we love it so much, and it's less common. So yeah. So after that, we have exclusive tea that you have in both little and big tea box, or Tea Road box. So it's the Wiu Gaoshan Tucha. So it's a small lot I bought from a producer in the western area. It's like an experimental lot actually, in the western WUYI area in Fujian, in China. It's a place where they make mostly oolong tea. And we have Jinjunmei and Lapsang Souchong that comes from the eastern part of the WUYI, but in this part normally they make oolong, and it's Gaoshan means high altitude. It's 700-800 meters. It's normal for the WUYI, but it's quite high actually for that area, and it's wild tea. So it's a tea plant that doesn't really have a name by itself other than being wild. So they transform it. It's super oxidized, super sweet. You'll taste it. Really fruity, really gourmand. So really like a bit like honey and plum jam and kind of grape-ish. Super smooth, no astringency, no bitterness, no harshness. Very sweet, and I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. Many times we tried it in a large teapot, in Gongfucha and Gaiwan. Super generous at the level of brewing, and becomes thinner and thinner, but still sweet. Really balanced. I hope you'll like it. We have a bit left after making the boxes, so if you want to jump and shotgun on a few grams of it, it's not that expensive too. So really something I'll keep in mind for the future. But the Wiu Gaoshan, I really love all teas from WUYI, so it's probably I'm a bit biased maybe, but to me it was a sweet cup, really simple, super easy to make, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. So tell me how you find it. I'll be curious to have your comments. After that, because we didn't put pour in the last few boxes from the little tirade. Last time we had 2 pour was in the large, but not in the small version of the tirade box. So we've put the one of our staple in terms of pour. We have lots of that one. It's 10 years old, so it's 2012 Ningchang, grade 1. So it's the best quality that factory makes in Ningchang, in Sichuanbana, Yunnan, China. So it's a show pour show. So it's not naturally aged. It has been forced in artificial, special, extraordinary conditions. So with wet piling. So they've put some water, they've put some yeast, and they covered the bunch of tea leaf to make it ferment faster than SHAN pour that would just age slowly by itself, just with the warmth and the humidity, the moisture content in the normal temperature atmosphere. So here in 4 weeks we have done the job of probably 20 years from natural fermentation, but as some show pour, some forced fermentation pour can really taste like shrimp or sometimes boozy a bit, or donkey manure style of tea. This one is really clean. It had that nice mineral, woody, even a bit fruity-ish feeling to it. So it's really balanced, really accessible, really easy to make. Super generous also. So the only thing you'll have to do, you cannot go wrong with pour. It's super easy to prepare. Don't be impressed. The taste is pretty easy to make, stable from one brew to another. The only things to do is to do a little rinse, as what you'll do with any pour. So you put some hot water, the same temperature, near boil water, on the leaf for a few seconds, and then you drain this one. That can go for watering houseplants when it's room temperature afterwards, but you don't drain that part, and after that you can brew many times, probably 6, 8, maybe 10 times the same leaves in Gongfucha or whatever large teapot you make. You'll be able to squish lots of cup from it. Low caffeine, easy digested, easy drinking. So pour is, if you don't know that pour, it's a really representative of what a show pour, a 10-year-old show pour can look like. So yeah. So to finish for the little tirade, you have one of our favorite oolong from one of our favorite tea producer, tea artisan as well. So it's the Dongding, the traditional roast. So it's electrical roast. So Mr. Lee is a producer in Luku, which is the tea farmer job is done by his brother, and then he finished the tea and roasted. So he's a judge in the tea competitions in Taiwan, and he's really good at it. He's one of my mentor. I call him my shifu. So he's my master, my roasting master. So Dongding is one of the most common oolong that came out from Taiwan. Dongding and Alishan the most known tea outside Taiwan. Dongding is not high altitude, it's almost 800, 900 meter, 1000 meter and more. It's called Gaoshan, so it's high mountain. And this oolong doesn't have a good reputation just because of the name. It's really good, it's really complex. So that kind of roasting is a bit like middle roast, would say, 40 hours roast. Brings out some honey, graham cookie, fruits, still flowers, a bit of woody and minerals. Really, really complex, really round and tasty. And I really recommend to smell the cup. After you finish your cup, smell out all the essential oils stick. The sweetness sticks to the cup, and I almost even prefer to smell it than to drink it. So, but on the empty cup is really, really nice. And you can make many, many brews. Ideally, would be in Gaiwan or Gongfucha, small teapot, but large teapot will do a good job too. That kind of roast is really between the high roast and the almost not roasted, and the regular Dongding is not roasted, and you have more like the flower filling and herbaceousness. And this one will just bring out all that sweetness from the roasting, like when you caramelize something. So that brings me to the charcoal roast Dongding from the same tea maker, from the same plantation. Just that one in the large box, you'll find this one. So, sorry, this one. And so the charcoal roast was from spring, and the traditional roast was from winter harvest, the latest harvest we just got. So besides being from two different harvests, the spring being my favorite generally, that doesn't change so much the taste, that the character from the charcoal roast itself. So same plantation, same farmer, same artisan. So what's making the difference from charcoal? Well, the heat source. So it's not smoke. It's not making smoke black tea, or you won't find like a fireplace smoke to that. It's really the cooking that is deeper. It's more like a meat that you would cook slowly, so it penetrates slowly and deeply. So it's more round, it's more mellow. You have a bit darker notes. So more on the caramel side, like a caramel butterscotch type of caramel. You have some fruits too. You have a bit of dill with some herbaceous note to it that is really, really amazing, I think, to have. The flour is not really there anymore. It's deeper baked, but not more roasted. So it's super digestive, super smooth. It's really nice if you have if you're a subscriber who have taken the large box. I would definitely recommend to compare them between the traditional roast and the charcoal. So there's not so many producers that still make it with charcoal in Taiwan. So we are lucky to work with Mr. Lee, who does that and really loves his charcoal. Like it's from the dragon fruit tree, the charcoal that he chews. So it's a big chunk of charcoal that he exposes in his shop and writes a poem and kind of look at it as a piece of art before using it. For maybe he does like that for a week or a month, just to a bit like honor the charcoal that is it's a gift from the nature that is will be used afterwards to bake his tea. So that probably makes something really special into the tea, like a love chemical reaction to the tea. But anyway, we really, really enjoy this tea. And being charcoal roasted, it will age way longer. Like you can probably age this tea 20 or 30 years. And traditional roast can age probably 4 or 5 years or so. It doesn't go bad, but it won't deepen the same way that the charcoal roast will do. Okay, so then I did a little spoiler, taking the other bag a bit earlier by mistake. So the other tea that is a new tea that we included. We have some in our selection. It's on our website, but it's new. You're probably the first to drink it, really. So it's Hojicha Matcha. So it's a matcha made from hojicha leaf instead of tencha that is green. So matcha, normally you have the green powder that looks like a really almost alien drink, and that's super green and chlorophyll filled. Here you have brown matcha. So roasted bancha will make hojicha. You can just drink it by brewing the leaves. But they have Yano family have milled those hojicha leaf without the stem, so it's a really high quality hojicha that he used for me. And so that powder is definitely like a culinary grade or latte grade. So I don't, you can definitely use them to make cookies like shortbread, or you can make ice cream. You just melt a bit some vanilla ice cream and you just incorporate that powder in it, and you just stir it, and then you put it back in the freezer, and just makes that hojicha ice cream so good. So notes of hojicha is common, is hazelnut and a bit caramel-ish and honey feeling, but mostly it's hazelnut cacao feeling to it. And you really taste this, and my way to recommend it is to make it as a latte. So that's why we thought maybe they'll feel a bit not tooled enough if you don't have the bamboo whisk. If you do, great, you can use it. It's not that important, so you can just use like a kitchen whisk, normal, like to make an omelette, or just a fork will do it, or a spoon even. So the way to make it in a latte is to put 1 teaspoon in a cup or a bowl, put a bit of water, just like maybe 100 ml of water, hot water, like 80 Celsius or something like that, 70, 80. You just stir it in, the powder and the water. If you have the whisk, go for it. You just whisk a bit, and then you top it with hot milk or cold milk if you want. But I like oat milk. I know almond milk or soy or dairy can just work super well too. And if you have a steamer and you can have a foam, that's even better. And I use personally maple syrup. I know Robin wrote honey here, where wildflower honey is really good. You can use, there's many ways. And you just drink it as a latte, and it's super good. Not as caffeinated as matcha, and it gives really good results, really comforting in the same way. Yeah. So let me know how you like it, if you enjoy, and it's, to me it's just including a new product in our selection. That's cafes and some restaurants and shops that ask me to import it, and I asked Yano family since many times, and I thought just asking again, and they did it probably just for me. So I was really happy to import this guy in January. He just arrived. So okay, and last, for the big box, you have the Tan Huang, which is a green tea. It's not me who imports it, but I'm super happy to have it back. It's been 2 years. Some people really love this tea, and from Vietnam. So I thought it was a really nice curiosity for the ones who never had tea from Vietnam. We had white tea from Vietnam before, and fermented tea, a bit like pu'er, but from Vietnam, and a green tea. This one comes from northern, like 1 hour drive from Hanoi in the mountains, not that high, and it's a really simple tea. It's not a high competition or high value tea. It's pretty cheap. It's good for the price. It's good. It's a everyday drinking green tea. I think some people really like it because they don't want to pay lots, and just makes a good cup. To me, it had that kind of really herbaceous vegetal note that is fun, a bit of fruitiness, a bit wild fruitiness, a bit what you find in Yunnan, and that kind of note that is actually pretty complex for cheap tea, but you have that kind of a bit ham or shrimp feeling, a bit like it goes super well probably while eating Asian food. So Depends how you brew it. Like we wrote 80 Celsius, you can try it with 75 temperature water. It will decrease that feeling of defect, I would say. But to me, it's like if you really like it, it's not a problem because I think there's an enjoyable aspect to it. To me, it's a tea to just add without thinking too much. So make a big cup of it. It's not a tea that you're making Gaiwan so much, or just like a large teapot of it. And it's made by good people, I think, family and the people around the village. And that's important also to have teas that are really simple and good value. So in case you never had tea from Vietnam, I thought it was a nice addition to the box. So enjoy the teas. I hope you'll be well for all the month and weeks to come. There'll be some announcements soon about some change. So we'll do a few lives probably or announcement during the month of March. There'll be the live Facebook for these guys. The last Sunday, I believe it's the 27th. If I don't make a mistake, anyway, it's written on the leaf on the sheet in the box. So because I have some. I don't have the choice to make it that weekend, and it will be a pleasure to have news from you. If you have comments, always below or by info@chai.ca or on social media. It will be always a pleasure to share with you, answer your questions. Never hesitate to contact me. It's always a pleasure to be in contact with you and to share my passion for tea. And all the team Chai wishes you a happy tea tasting for all these teas, and talk to you soon. Thank you so much for being there. Goodbye.